Shine, everyone. It is 6 o'clock here on this Thursday morning. Jason and Alicia here with you on what is going to be kind of like a spring-like day. I wore my floral tie this morning.
It's like Easter-like kind of weather, not December 7th weather
not at all.
whatsoever. There's golf courses open,
I know.
which I'm shocked because you want to protect the greens.
I don't know how that works. I didn't know they were open.
I'm surprised. You of all people.
I know. I'm not happy about it at all. But that's all right. I'm wearing my snow tie. It's got little snowflakies on here. And I do that because I'm excited about the snow. 33 out there right now. That's right. We got a chance for some snow Saturday. 25 in St. Cloud. We actually just bumped up a degree, so now we're not at freezing in the cities, but around the cities we are in the upper 20s. Still very warm. I mean, this temperature right here technically is above our average high. Where are we going to end up? Golf weather, right? 53 in the cities. There you go. 59 in Marshall. Getting up towards Brainerd, we'll be in the middle to upper 40s. The question becomes, what about snow? Last year, very active start of the year, 14.5 inches, and we are at 4, and most of this is in October, so we've got some catching up to do. I think we add to this Saturday. That's the update here, all in the forecast.
And we're taking a look right now at the Forest Lake split. It's kind of hard to see out there this morning. It's still so dark, but things are moving along really nicely this morning. Things are looking good. Let's look at some drive times right now. So if you're heading south on 35W, about a 12-minute commute from 35W from the split to 694, and from the split to 694 on 35E, about a 10-minute commute. So overall, really good this morning, Jason and Alicia.
That is good to see, Megan. Thank you very much. We are following breaking news in Minneapolis, that fire at a 3-story apartment building.
Dozens of people have been evacuated, and Cece's on the scene in the 1600 block of Plymouth Avenue North with new information. Cece, what can you tell us?
Hey, good morning. Much quieter scene than when I talked to you about 30 minutes ago. Crews left the scene about an hour ago, but I do want to show you the damage that this fire did leave behind. I'll step aside here so you can see really just charred apartment, all 3 levels. You can see broken windows. You can actually see right through into those rooms there, and then there's a lot of debris scattered around here. I do, too, want you to see how things were at the height of this fire. If you take a look at your screen, multiple crews were on scene, and we're learning that's because of the size of this building. They needed extra manpower. We spoke to the chief about 30 minutes ago, and he says this call came in early this morning. As of right now, the chief says this fire doesn't seem suspicious. Where this fire started, though, still under investigation, but officials say they believe it started outside and moved inside. But again, that still needs to be confirmed. Here's the chief this morning on how residents are doing right now.
Due to the CO conditions, we have Red Cross coming for everybody that was affected. We have a bus right now that they're sheltering in and waiting for Red Cross.
Now, again, everyone's out, everyone's safe this morning, but again, we know that 11 units and more than 20 people were impacted by this, and until these units behind me are fixed, we're told by the chief that no one should be back inside to live in them. Back over to you.
Yeah, glad everyone made it out and safe and everyone's alive, but it's going to be a tough to get those people housing and
yeah,
get them
especially
out of
this
the cold.
time of year for
exactly.
sure.
All right, Cece Gaines reporting live for us. Thank you.
We're also following new information on the mass shooting at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas. At least 3 people are dead and more are hurt. Police say the gunman is also dead. In the last few hours, we learned classes are canceled for the rest of the week. The university also says there will be a heavy police presence on campus. Police say the gunman opened fire in the university's business school building more than 15 hours ago. And more shots were reported in the student union. NBC News is reporting the suspect is a 67-year-old former college professor. It's not clear, though, if he had any ties to UNLV. Here's what a professor at the school said about the incident.
We heard the clips of semi-automatic weapons just going for what felt like about 30 seconds. It was a very, very disturbing thing to hear.
So scary for everyone on campus. Investigators are now searching the campus and at the suspected gunman's home for any evidence. According to CNN, this is the 80th school shooting in the U.S.
6:05 on the clock. We are just 6 weeks away from the Iowa caucuses. In the last 12 hours, 4 Republicans took to the stage in Tuscaloosa, Alabama for the final primary debate of the year. The candidates sparred over issues ranging from immigration and the southern border to conflicts overseas. Former UN Ambassador Nikki Haley was also in the spotlight for much of the night, drawing criticism from her rivals. She's been surging in the polls and has snagged some key endorsements from wealthy donors.
Fact of the matter is, we know from her history, Nikki will cave to those big donors when it counts.
In terms of these donors that are supporting me, they're just jealous. They wish that they were supporting them, but I'm not going to sit there and deny it.
And as in every previous GOP debate this year, former President Trump did not attend, saying he had such a commanding lead in the polls that he doesn't need to debate.
Newly released video shows a Maple Grove police officer being dragged 40 yards by a man attempting to flee a traffic stop last month. The criminal complaint says officers pulled over the vehicle for tinted windows and a failure to signal. They then noticed an empty container of alcohol and asked him to step out of the vehicle. In the video, you can see the suspect run from officers, jump into the car, and then drive away while dragging the officer. Despite that, the suspect is not charged with assault, leading to an outcry from the Maple Grove Police Department and the Minnesota Police and Peace Officers Association. They argued the Hennepin County Attorney's Office is being too lenient with the charges in this case.
If this was charged as a second-degree assault, there would be a mandatory minimum prison sentence that would be associated with it because it involves a dangerous weapon. As it stands now, of an obstruction, there's no mandatory minimum sentence. And
the Hennepin County Attorney's Office says to file an assault charge, attorneys would need to prove the suspect intended to hurt the officer with his vehicle. They argue the evidence suggests the intent was to flee and the officer was injured in the process.
This morning, we're hearing from state leaders about the shooting death of a transgender woman in Minneapolis. About 16 hours ago, the Queer Legislative Caucus issued a statement mourning the loss of Savannah Ryan Williams, condemning transphobia and calling for legislation to protect anyone, regardless of their identity. The man suspected of killing Williams last week now faces murder charges. Prosecutors say Demarion Bible admitted to shooting Williams near the Lake Street light rail station after she approached him for a sexual encounter. Bible's bail is set for $1 million.
At the state capitol, lawmakers say they're approaching the next session with caution after seeing the long-term budget outlook 16 hours ago, one they're now calling troubling. The state's financial experts are predicting a $2.4 billion surplus for the current two-year cycle, which was stronger than expected. But on the horizon by 2027, the forecast shows the surplus will shrink to just $82 million. And that will go even lower if lawmakers cut taxes or approve new spending.
I will say that again, it is a deficit. No matter what the semantics that we've heard today, no matter how they spin this is a deficit.
I think people should temper. That includes spending. That's going to come from allies of mine, and Republicans are not going to get their millionaire tax cut. It's not going to happen.
Key factors driving the forecast include higher costs for school meals and services for persons with disabilities. This is also the first time they factored in the impact of inflation.
Fairview Health Services and the University of Minnesota say they're working together toward an agreement for a new and reimagined partnership. Last month, Fairview said it planned to end its current contract with the U when it expires in 2026. Fairview explained the level of financial support to the university threatened the sustainability of its healthcare system. Fairview now says while talks continue, nothing will change for patients or employees under the mHealth Fairview brand.
Well, put away your parkas and grab your putter because it's going to be 50 today, maybe higher than that. Just hours from now, several golf courses are actually opening up, including Oak Marsh Golf Course in Oakdale. They open tee times to 100 players for today and tomorrow, and they sold out in minutes. So I'm sorry, it's too late to get your tee time. But this is the kind of weather a little more typical of what we're used to here in Minnesota. In fact, this was 2 years ago. Take a look at your screen. We had a tiny little bit of snow, a little ice, and you can just see people slipping and sliding all over the interstates. By the time the day was over, State Patrol tallied at least 400 crashes and spinouts.
Look at that black ice here. Look at them.
It's crazy.
That's
cars.
the Minnesota we know and love right there.
Oh, don't you dare. Look at the cars looking at each other there. That's never good.
Man.